Howdy, everyone. So my bank did not get any coins except for halves for some reason. Yeah. I was like, what you got for me? They said, all we got is halves. We didn't get any other coin. I'm like, oh, interesting. The credit union is like, we're trying to get any extras from St. George to give to you. And I said, well, I know I'm kind of a back burner. You guys have to do your stuff first. But I was like, I'll take anything. So we're hunting halves. So if you put a year in, it's basically going to be ignored. So tonight is just the drink. Because most likely I will not find any silvers, which means the oldest I'll find is a 1960 or 1971. So I guess we could do a year if you want to guess if we end up finding silver. I guess you could always put a year in. So if you want to do a year guess, try 70. Well, I guess 70 is a silver. Anything in the silver years. We got KJ, VMC, Billy, Jim. Oops. Garrett, Wolf Metals. Furvids. AG. Can't stick around, that's okay. Civ 5. Dan Mayhew. Welcome. Newer name I'm not recognizing, so welcome to the channel. Hopefully you like it. Usually it's a nickel hunt, but tonight we're doing halves. So if you do want to do a guess, it will have to be a silver year. So if you guess 71, it will not count. KJ, the Nickel Hunter, welcome. Jolly Roger, Michael Erickson, Smoker. Just kind of flying through the names, seeing if I can grab any. Gatita, Vincent, BH. Hopefully I'm not missing too many people. Dennis Stewart, Michael Rose. I think I've caught up. If I missed you, I'm sorry. We are still doing at least the drinks. If you want to guess a year, it will have to be a silver. Otherwise, anybody who put 71 would automatically win. So the oldest I have found is a Walking Liberty. Can't remember the year. I think it was 1907, 18 something. I don't know. My daughter found it. It was something. So it'll have to be at least 1970 or older. So we're only doing years if I find silver. So if you want to put a year in, you're welcome to. But I don't find silvers a ton. David, welcome. Cal, welcome. So on the years, because we're doing halves, it will have to be a silver year, otherwise it will not count. And it won't be the closest thing. If there's no silver, then none of the years will count on the wheel. So it's not like if you put a 70, you'd probably end up winning, but it would have to be a silver to actually get it to count. Yeah, I've been like zero for the last 400,362,000 boxes because they've all been brand new 2024 Denvers and 25 Phillies. And someone did something. Jim Thompson just tipped $10. Thank you, Jim. Your name is going on the wheel for that. Thank you. I thought for sure they were all going to be brand new, and from what I can see, all 5 are circulated. Yes. Welcome, Tim. See you there, Crafty. So we're guessing the drinks. That's what you think I'm drinking tonight. I've already got it out, so I can't cheat. And if you want to guess a year, you have to guess a silver year, otherwise the years don't count. And it's 90 or 40s, either one. Yeah, not doing too bad. My sister texted me yesterday and said that she picked up 2 more boxes for me, so I now have 13 boxes of nickels coming up from Phoenix area. They'll be Brink's Tall Boys from Wells Fargo. 13, yep. She picked up 3, went to pick up the other order, and they had a ton of them. Some of them were taped with packing tape, so I said do not get those. Those have been pre-hunted. So she only got ones with regular. How do you sign up to sponsor one of those? It's just a nickel hunt. If I have them, I let you choose if you want mine or hers. So I give you 2 different ones. Change my year. 64. Okay. So it's just the regular hunt. You can either do the nickel battle between 2 people, or you can do just the solo hunt. But yeah, if I have both boxes, you get to choose which type of box you want. If I only have hers, then you only get hers. If you only have mine, then I only have mine. Vanessa, welcome. Muscle Shell. This is the drink and year, but the year has to be a silver or older because we're hunting halves, because I do not have nickels, which means Monday I will not have nickels either. She won't be here until the 2nd. I think the 2nd is a Thursday. Yeah. So hopefully I can grab them. I might be a little bit late starting, just so you're aware. Yeah, it'll pull onto the sheet, and I'll go through them and make sure everybody's got the right years and stuff. Hopefully it's pulling everybody over. It looks like it. I've got 69, 68, Barks, 68, 67. Billy put 72. But I think he changed it down below to 68. So yeah, it's pulling over. So yeah, if you want to guess a year of a silver. Hey, we got 29 likes already. No, 24 likes with 29 people. 1 more like and we can do a 25 like giveaway. Which by the time I get to the giveaways, I'm sure we'll have a 25 likes. But we have 30 people and only 24 liking the stream. Now I see 25. So exclamation GAW will get you in on the drawing. You got 4 minutes and then it closes. So 4 minutes should be plenty of time. Exclamation GAW. And you will have a chance to win a copper round or bank it. I do allow you to bank your wins, just face value towards my store. So if you want to save up for something, you're welcome to. I've done trades silver for silver. I've done trades silver for some copper. I've done haven't done any trades for cash except for people who've paid for boxes, but I don't think they've ever sent cash. Maybe once, can't remember. But yeah, Lynn, welcome. Bee Collector Rick, welcome. I think it's been a few streams since I've seen you. On the year, if you're guessing, it has to be a silver or older. So technically 70 or older. Yeah, I liked it. You got a bunch of barbers, and I got some constitutional and some maple leaves. And I don't ever say who or what I traded unless the other person is fine with it. So I don't say, I traded with Bob and he traded me a petrified frog for a barber. Who knows? Not that I have a petrified frog, but hey, you know. Exclamation GAW. Yeah, for the most part, if it's like silver for silver, if it's silver for gold, or silver for copper, it's a little different, but it's one of those we can always work out rules and everything. I like to try to be fair. Exclamation GAW, you got 1 minute left. You can guess a year. It will have to be a silver because I'm opening halves. So exclamation GAW. Okay. Oops. So I traded Billy for some silver. I got a 1 ounce T-Rex. And really cool one, a $1 Australia. At first I thought it was painted white, but it's like deep frosting, and it's a kookaburra from Perth Mint. So we worked out what was fair to each of us, and he was happy with it and I was happy with it, so there you go. Alrighty, we are going to pick a winner. We'll see who gets it. Smoker, you won tonight. Congratulations. And I think I will end the drink guesses. It will take me a little bit of combining and stuff because we changed the guessing thing. Started off with no guessing, and then I said, well, let's guess if it's a year of silver. Alright, now I've got to find the drinks right here, I hopefully. Oh, don't tell me that. Damn it. Alright, let's see where it stuck it. So it corrupted. No, 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 no. No. Well, maybe we won't do any of them. Give me a minute here and see if I can do it this way. I apologize. I've been trying to work on a thing and it got messed up and all that, so I was going to go through and see what I can pull out. So it'll take a little bit of time. Luckily, I have all of the chat. It pulled over, but it did not sort it or anything. So it is all jumbled up. So hopefully we'll get it. And if you are chatting with me, I'm not seeing it because I'm trying to get the years and drinks back. Which isn't the easiest, but someone did something. I'll look at that here in a second. Michael sent a star. Thank you, Michael. Let me do this and see if I can cheat. Put it in ChatGPT. I pasted the whole thing. And it is pulling everything out. All right, I think that might work. Okay. So I'm going to sort this and see if we have years and everything for everybody. I'm going to move that. All right. I have got Billy. Do you have a drink you want to choose? Callie Brown's fan. Do you have a drink you want to choose? Because it did not pull it over. So if you want to throw that in, here's that list again. And then VMC, it didn't pull your year in. Did you want to pull a year? Billy says Barks. Okay. So Callie Brown's fan, I don't have a drink from you. VMC says 67. Okay. So I've got B Collector Bellows, BH, Billy, Brian, Calvin, Civ 5, Crafty, Dan, Mahue, David, Ken Hum, Dennis, Furvids, Garrett, Gatita, Jim, KJ, Michael Rose, Mike Schleiz, Muscle Shell, New Marshall, Smoker, Jolly Roger, Tim Ivans, Vanessa, Vincent, VMC, and Wolf Metals. I have drinks and years for all of you. Pepsi Cherry Cream. Okay, I can do that. So I've got drinks and years from everybody, it looks like. If I've missed you, I will give you a quick second to give me your year and drink while I do this stuff. Sorry, it's a little bit off. And then I will close it. Hey, Brambo. We are guessing a year and drink of what you think the drink I'm drinking tonight. And also any year that's in a silver. If you get correct, you get your name on the wheel as a chance to win a prize at the end of the night. So let me get you on there. Rambo 9. You had Dr. Pepper Cherry 0. We're doing silvers only if it's a silver, so it would have to be 70 or before. So if you want to put a new year in, $67. Okay. Let me make sure. Dennis, yes, changed to 53. I had Civ 5 changed to 69. Billy changed to 68, and Jolly Roger changed to 64. So I think that should be good for now. Now I'll sort it by the drink and see who won. Looks like we had 3 winners. I'm going to get them on the wheel first before I forget, because I'm good at forgetting. Barks. And the winners were Billy, Garrett, and Smoker. Congratulations, your name is on the wheel. I had been selling coins on eBay, and then all of a sudden it just kind of dried up, and not one person after New Year was even interested. Maple, can you guess 40? You get me on that sheet since I haven't opened it. You sure can. So I have you on there now. Yeah, sorry. You can guess the year if you want. If it's a silver. All mine are zeros, so there's no sugar at least. 40 Walking Liberty. Yeah, I got yours. Okay. And I went in and set up the international shipping and stuff and all the different currencies. So Dutch, you can always look at my site. It should hopefully you'd be able to drop down into your currency and the shipping and all that. I should have done a guess how many nifsies, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I'm going to be looking for, of course, any silvers, any DDOs, any DDRs. I'm going to be looking for no FGs. I'll be pulling out nifsies. I figure I'll probably do 2 boxes tonight. I've got 5, so. Are we doing nifsies for that? Yeah, we could. That's not a bad idea. $39, yes. Let me just make sure. And we'll pull out 71 Denvers, 72s, all that. And I will scope those after each box. We'll turn on that light over here. I figure at least 2 boxes because the majority are going to be probably 24s and 5s. 72. Yep, the 82. So both no FGs, which there was one box I had once that had a 72 no FG and a 2 82 no FGs. So 3 no FGs in one box. And I really scrutinized them and still couldn't see anything, even under microscope and all that. Normally you can see them just by naked eye. Here I should be wearing clothes, I guess, if it's naked, but still. I had a searched box that had been resealed, and it had 10 proofs in it. So I come across some interesting boxes now and then. Usually I am averaging just a hair shy of 19 nifsies per box. I average like 18.72 or something. And it's one of those, I don't find as much silver, but I find a ton of nifsies. I had a box not too long ago that we had a couple circulated that I did after the stream, the regular part of the stream. That might help me a little better. I did sharpen my knife the other day. Not that it helps any, but I guess that's probably about centered now. I have always averaged high. I think the lowest, let me see if this is going to work. I did get a nifsy already, so we'll see if the guessing thing works. I'm just going to set it right here. So any year of nifsy you can guess. It's that one. Actually, let me see if the coin cam might help. There you go. Maybe that's better. And we'll see if my year guessing script at least still works. Got to figure out which one's the better of them. And nifsies are going to be 87 and then 2002 to 2020. So 87 is also nifsy year. I don't find a ton of those. I have found a few. Actually, let me do this, and instead of fines, I'm going to put so the years up there, 87, and then 2 through 20 are the years of what a nifsy will be. NIFC, everybody calls them nifsies, which is not intended for circulation, meaning they were not made for business strikes. Thank you, VMC. We'll end the guess. Let's see if it pulls over. I show 2 people one. Hopefully that's correct. Okay, 2018. I show Michael Rose and Billy both had 2018. If anybody else had it, please let me know. I'm sure. VMC also. Crafty, Calvin, yeah. I was afraid that was going to be doing that. So, VMC, Crafty, Calvin. So, Michael, Billy, Crafty, Calvin, and VMC, is that right? Or was Billy and Michael from maybe something else? Michael Rose, okay. So I have Michael, Rose, Billy, Crafty, Calvin, and BH then. So I guess the thing isn't pulling everybody over. Out of curiosity, I'm wondering if it's pulling over only the 2018 instead of, like, I don't know if you put 18, but I'm wondering if that could possibly be it. You'd have to tell me if you put 2018 and it didn't, or if, like, Billy had put 18 and pulled him over. You put 2018, okay. I was gonna say it pulled you over. Yeah, I got you on there. So that might be something where you will check and see if you do a 4-year digit, it might pull it over better. I probably have the wrong year guessing one open. I was messing around with a few of them, and I probably opened the wrong one. I've got to figure out which one's the correct ones. Nope, I just put the years up there for people that don't know the NIFSI years. And it's looking like, if you guess, you'll probably want to use a 4-digit year for it to pull you over automatically. That's what it's looking like. I guess we'll try it on the next one. So we're not guessing just regular coins, we're guessing the NIFSI years. Yeah, so instead of just 18, we'll see if everybody uses 4 years if it pulls everybody correctly. It'll be a test. Because the other night we had one that was working just fine. For the most part. I'm afraid my average of 18, almost 19 NIFCs per box is not going to be the average on this, since probably the majority of these are 24s and 5s. See, those ones are always weird. It's like they've used acid or something and it sounds flat. At first I was like, is that magic? And then I was like, oh, it's one of those ugly ones. Which means the machine will most likely... Yeah, on mine I had it was pulling 2-year and turning it into a 4-year. And that's been working just fine on the drink guesses. But when it comes to the year guesses, I'm wondering if that's why it's not pulling everybody in, because for some reason it wants a 4-year guess, because I put in the year of the coin and then click start guess. Guess we'll test it on this one. Let's see. So, try doing a 4-year digit. Oop. I don't think we need the light. So I'm pulling all the ones that might have DDOs and stuff. I will scope them at the end of the first box. NIFC only, yep. So 87 and then 2002 to 2020. Recommendation is put the full 4 years. And we'll see if that fixes the problem. Or if there is a proof or a silver or something like that, we will also guess on those ones. Thank you, VMC. According to this, it had one person, 2013. I show Vanessa. Was there anybody else besides Vanessa? Because we're testing to see if this is working correctly. So the same thing will apply on this. You can do the default, which is your name 2 times. Or you can choose an X2, which means if you win, you get twice the prize. So the default I put on is 2 names unless you put X2, and then I take one of them off and change it. So X2, okay. Got a gambler tonight. So this is how it looks when I do that. I put X2. Which means if you win, instead of a normal round of 325 value on my website, you would get 650. And you can bank it also. Same thing with the slots. If you hit 3 chili peppers, only 3 chili peppers, you get 50 cents towards your bank. And you can bank as much as you want. And if you want to save up for some big, huge thing, or a bunch of little things, or whatever. And it's one of those that it's your bank, so you don't have to use it. You could end up giving it to someone else. You could use it for pay for part of it. Oh, almost 3 chilies. Again, I do not find much silver. I guess the reason I still have an average of almost 19 Nipsies is because I haven't had any boxes to bring down the average. But now I've got 5 boxes. I had one box where I found 1.5 magic coins. And if you say, how do you get 1.5? Well, there was only half of one of them. And you've got one that you can now guess on. And remember, a 4-year digit will hopefully help bring the auto pull over. I know it's kind of a pain, but hey, Donkey Socks. Your round is in the mail. We are guessing NIFCs, Nipsies, so if you want to guess, preferably use a 4-year digit format on this one. And you can see at the top, Nipsies are 1987, and then 2002 to 2020. Thank you, BMC. And we have a new one. The one I just pulled out is a 2020, and supposedly it was one person, and that one person I accidentally erased. I guess we'll have to go back up and find it. Mussel shell, okay. So again, if you want an X2, just let me know. Otherwise, your name is on there 2 times. Because a lot of these ends are new and shinier, I was thinking, they're all new, and then I noticed there was a bicentennial and a couple that were not shiny. And I noticed that, and I was like, ooh. ×2, so if you are the only one that gets your name or correct on the guess, you get 2 entries on the wheel. If you want to go for double the prize, meaning if you end up getting picked on the wheel, thank you, BMC, you would get, if you do an X2, you only get your name on there once, but you get twice the prize. So according to this, I forgot to change the year, so I will have to do it the old-fashioned way. 2008, and I still had 2020, so we get to do it the old-fashioned way. So default is 2 names. If you want to gamble, you can do X2 in the chat, and I will change it to an X2. Let's see, did anybody have 2008? And it would also help if I had, like I said, changed the year. Hey, Perry Martin. Welcome. I don't see any 2008s. Let's see, 18, 14, 13, 5, ooh, a 6, Garrett. I think Garrett, Mike, and Billy, because Billy had 2010, which is 2 off. And don't know if Brambo is still in here, but if you are, you now have points to gamble. Yep. And it's the closest in either direction, as usual. Tonight's drink is brought to you by Barks Zero. Oh, I need to put a total of 4 Nipsies up there. To me, it's not super hot because it's got some sugar and stuff in it. It says it's a 3 out of 5. Of course, that's kind of relative to each person, but I think they said the approximate Scovilles are about 100,000. So nothing like my 1.5 million that I have. There's been quite a few who have gotten some hot sauces, and of course, like I said, for me, it's not hot. It's got a kick to it, but it's not like, oh, this is hot. But then I eat hot. But it does have pure cane sugar and brown sugar, which is the cane sugar and molasses. Which does cut some of the heat. I'm not a big sweet heat fan. But the stuff that I personally made 2 years ago, it was habanero and ghost pepper, which was probably close to 1 million Scoville together. And this year I don't have ghost pepper. So I've got 2 habaneros and a Tabasco. Tonight had chili and rice with lots of hot sauce. Nice. And I did change the year. Ching. But what I did was when I made my hot sauce and I sieved it, let me just a second here. So what I did was when I did it, I blenderized it And then I sieved it and put it back in the pot and re-simmered it, and then re-blenderized it, and sieved it a second time. And I took all those solids and had my mom freeze dry them, and then I ground them into a powder. Supposedly no one guessed it. It's a 2007 Philly. So it looks like we'll have to go with, like I see Tim at 2008. Hey, Enton Breton. Is there anybody besides Tim at 2008? It's the only one I'm seeing. Welcome, by the way. Usually it's a nickel hunt, but I am out of nickels. My bank didn't get any more. And because their shipment didn't come, so yeah. So there you go. We have the new one on the board. If you're guessing, please try to use a 4-year guess, otherwise it will not pull you over. And the NIFCs are at the top. It's a 1987 or 2002 to 2020. Yeah, the 4-year guess, it's not pulling anything that, like if you just put, like say it was a 1990, which it isn't, and you just put 90, it won't pull over your guess, and then you have to go back through manually. But if you put 1990, it will pull it over. Joe, you'll want to guess one of the numbers at the top, which is 1987 or 2002 to 2020. That's the only years the NIFCs can be. So if you want to guess again, you're welcome to. Peppers, Michael Rose. Awesome. Let me get to the bank and add you in. Michael, you now have 50 cents banked. Oh. So I'm putting another one up. And I did it again where I accidentally erased the person instead. The one I just pulled off was a 2018. So we get to do it the old-fashioned way because I'm erasing people before I copy them. Alright, let's see, 2018. Got 13, a 20, ooh, 17. Civ got 18, Vanessa an 18. Civ and Vanessa. Anybody else see anybody different? And And Garrett says that's what he sees. And I need to change this to 7. Yeah, there are some nights where some people just are like on it. So tonight, since I don't have nickels, we're hunting halves, and on that's why we're hunting Nipsey guesses to get your names on the wheel. Thank you, VMC. According to this, there's no winners this time. It's another 2018. So one of the programs I had was supposed to pull the closest in either direction. I show AG with 2018. And VMC. Oh, Garrett says Joe, VMC, and AG. Okay, thank you. So I'll have to keep playing with the programs. I think what I did is I had one that was working almost the way I wanted, and I accidentally overrode it. And then by the time I realized it, it was way too many iterations, and now I've got to figure out which day it was working decent and look in my history for my code and see if I have a copy of it in the memory somewhere. But I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to, when I test them, make a folder and name a folder like number 3. And then if I guess or find something that's working a little better, then I can go number 4. And if it didn't work, then I can go, that didn't work, so let's go back to number 3. And we have one. I'm going to do that so I can kind of see where I'm at. So it's easier to see where I need to go back up to. I do see a 5 with 18, so you're good on that. Hopefully I remember to not wipe the memory. And the other one was supposed to take the winners and kind of write it into a file and keep a running track. And again, it must be the wrong one. All right, I don't see anybody, but there's a second one I just took off. A 2007. So we'll have to see who's closest. Change the board. All right, 2007. Vincent. Cool. Ooh, Vincent times 2. Okay. And again, default is 2 names unless you say X2. We're on roll 33. Thank you, VMC. I showed that there was no one. It was also a 2007. He said X2. Okay. So another 2007. Let me get Vincent with an X2. And number 10. Garrett, Vincent, Smoker, Brian. Okay. Cute. Am I not hunting the older coins? I don't have any nickels to hunt, so. And it doesn't look like we had anybody again. Excuse me. This one was a 2020. I am putting all the 71, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, all that, or not 5s, but 7s to hunt our scope after the box. So no 2020s. Who was the closest? No, because on the guess for the night, that guess at the start of the stream was if we find silver. Otherwise, it wouldn't count. Crafty and Mike. Okay. Otherwise, every single person could guess a 1971 and be a winner. And Civ? Okay. So that's why it's if we find silver. At first I was like, no, we're not doing any guesses tonight. And then it's like, well, we could do one if it's a silver. And like I said, I don't find much silver, but since I had 5 circulated $half, that'll be at least 2 tonight and 2 on Monday. And then Thursday I should have plenty of nickel boxes. So my sister had texted me and said I picked up 3 more. So I sent her the money. She will bring those up. So right now we are sitting at 13 boxes of nickels coming up from Phoenix area. It's Gilbert is where she lives. And they will be from Wells Fargo's, multiple locations. And they are the tall boys, the sealed ones with no holes, and if I get some, then you get to choose which boxes you want. Otherwise, it's whatever flavor I have. Nice. Hey, JC. Very nice. Let's throw an interesting one in here. It is not a NIFC, but it is very ugly. So this is not a NIFC. Just an interesting one, which is why I figured let's guess it. And that's the nice thing, is they don't all have to be NIFCs. If I come across one like this. Ow, son of a... Ouch. Jolly, it's not a NIFC, so you might want to change. I guess the only way you could win is if you were the closest. So if you want to guess again, you're welcome to. So it is not a NIFC. Well, I sharpened my knife, but not at least sharp enough to where I completely cut through the skin. To the end guess. I swear I saw at least one person. Yeah. According to this, it says there's no winners, which I think it's broken. It's a 2022, which I know Billy got. I'm wondering if it stopped. I think it's kind of timing itself out. So let me see if bear with me a second, I gotta get the link again. Nope, not that one. So let's see if it's this one. I think this will work. Billy times 2. You'll take the X2? Okay. So I think what happened is it just stopped receiving info, which is why it wasn't pulling anybody over, even if they were. Which I should have realized, because if it's working, the activity log is what the chat is showing. And I didn't realize it until just then that there was no activity. 10 rows or 10 rolls to go. Hey, James. Welcome. Tonight we are guessing NIFCs. So if we come across one, since I only have halves, I mean, I guess I could either search a dime box, which is not very thrilling, or a box of quarters, but since I have $50 and I haven't had them for quite a while, I figured perfect opportunity. No copper? Yeah, someone must have not liked you. No 2025s either. See, how do you like ones like this? One of these days when I get my bag full, I'll maybe do an auction and auction off a bag of rejects that the coin machine refuses to take. Start it at $1. Oh, I get them all the time. I like on half or quarters. I actually had a video. I call them crunchy quarters. I had close to probably, I don't know, $70 worth, and I thought it was going to reject way more than it did, but only ended up rejecting, I think it was 7, which is way more than I thought. Yeah, that's why I'm just glad I don't have to roll my stuff. Which is why when my sister said there was a ton of them, and then she goes, oh wait, they're taped up. I'm like, you mean taped as in packing tape or just the brown tape? She said, the clear tape. And I said, no, do not get those. Because the one she brought up, it wasn't sealed. And as soon as I opened the top, I could tell they were re-rolled. I was like, I'm not going to find anything. And I did not find anything from 60, or, yeah, anything older than 60. But these, the ones that she's bringing, are sealed with the brown tape that it comes with. So if it's new box, then just found a slick buffalo. Well, at least you're finding something. Yeah, I have to open mine and dump them. Otherwise, I would just get them right back. Because they only order them for me. Once in a while, they'll say, we have, you know, $1,970 because they sold like 3 rolls or something. So it's like, okay. The one box had 10 rolls gone, but it was a brand new box, so it wasn't like I was missing out on circulated ones. That's why I was so surprised when I picked these up. But like I said, they did not get any other coin. I thought it was strange that they got their halves, but they didn't get anything else. No coin whatsoever. So it's like, why did they bring just halves? Yeah, Pa had done that. He, we call him Magic Marker Man, and he would do that and take them back off. Last roll. There's been more like 74 and 73s and stuff than I expected. Like I said, with these kind of boxes, because there's so many new ones, I was not expecting my usual 19, well, almost 19 IFC. Alright, let's move some of this stuff. I'll get my scope out and we'll see if we were lucky enough, which I doubt, but we will see. Let's start with 70. Oops, those are nifsies. Let's start with 71s. Ella's mom? Let's see. Coming near done, I need some info about camping tomorrow. Okay. I can do that. And what I've actually figured out is we're not going to camp because he has to be to the swim meet, and it's at Utah Tech, and he has to be there at 7, which means we'd have to leave here by about 5, a little after 5, which means if we were up there, we'd have to get up at 3:30 to pack up and then come down. So tomorrow we will go up and spend the afternoon, and then he'll stay the night here, and I will take him to his swim meet in the morning. But I will call and go over all the details. Oh yeah, I have a piece of pie I can eat tonight. Banana cream pie. There was one slice left. Because my mom got that, and we had it for my birthday. I just remembered, I have one piece left. There it is. Birthday? Yep, it was my birthday yesterday. Yummy. $73 is the easiest way for me is find it on the I and the B. Thank you, Michael. I don't ever really make a big deal for birthdays, and that's why I was surprised when at work there's two of us that have birthdays on the 24th, and usually they get a card and, you know, a cake and that sort of thing. 30 years old now. Sure. It's only 17 years off, but sure. But yeah, they must have completely spaced it because none of them remembered. Feeling any older? My birthday is next week. Oh yeah. I gotta remember where I put that. Jim Thompson sent 10 Dad Hunts Coins gift memberships. And that went to that Seth guy, Brian Wireman, Jesse Kruckenberg, Coin Hunt, Chicken Man Dan, D. Robbins, or Dr. Obbins, I guess, maybe, I don't know. I'd say D. Robbins. Ricky the Scotty, Rob's Numismatic Archaeology, Flyer Bill, and John Jacobs. Awesome. Congratulations to you guys. Thank you. I'll get you on the wheel for that. Let me do that before I forget. Breton, if you're here, I'm giving you some extra points. You now have points to gamble. James, I'm going to give you some extra points. And 74 Denvers, the easy ones to find. Let me do this. We had what, 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go to the next box. They all have the same stamp, 8113. Any coin for my collection, what would it be and why? I don't know. Salmon just had a kind of a weird off-colored look, and when I first saw it, it looked like it was a 1970. I was like, I think that's a 9. It is. I don't know. I've finished my Barber half collection. I don't know. That's hard. Because like some of the coins and stuff that I like say a drummer boy, I've got those in, you know, regular and silver and all that. Michael Martin sent 6-7. $894. And we'll do the same thing where I pull them off and check them at the end. Be awesome if I found another crematorium tag. It's just one of the weirdest things I've ever found. I had one guy watch, he said he's found, I think, 3 of them or something. Of course, he opens way more boxes than I do, because he's able to get them. See, I show 45 likes. Yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me, though. Yes, I have set up business accounts with PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. On my Shopify site, if they pay with PayPal, the one thing bad about doing PayPal is it's a higher fee. They take 3.49% and a 49-cent transaction fee, where the other ones, Cash App and Venmo, take 2.9 and 39-cent fee. So it's extra 0.5% and an extra dime, but I factor that in. So it doesn't really matter how or you pay or whatever. If you pay by regular Visa or you pay by PayPal or whatever, MasterCard. But I set them up as a business account just to keep it separate from my own, which I then transfer it to one bank that I use specifically for coins, which is where I got these. So I do put some of my own money in, but that's just to get this coin stuff. Oops. Where did it go? Right there. And the one that jumped away was a bicentennial. Oh yeah. Still at 45 likes. There are a ton of 73 Denvers. I was going to say yes, Brian. Yeah. Finished nickel box, Buffalo 230s, 440s, and 1750s. Wow. Cool. I did add some of the new ones that I'm getting. On the website. It should be here, I think, Saturday. Sorry. See 50 likes? Oh, I see 51. There you go. Exclamation GAW will get you in on that. On roll 14. Not even a Nipsey yet. And I just picked two of the boxes because I'm assuming they were all delivered from the same truck because it was the same stamp on it, and none of them had other half boxes the last time, so like someone was asking about something. I said, well, it would normally be over there, but you can see I haven't got all that stuff filed. I said, that's kind of a low priority for me. I've told them, I said, I'm falling behind because I'm doing all this stuff that you want me to start learning. And what I normally would get done in the first week, it's taking me 2. And what I'd normally get done by the second week, I'm not getting done until about 5 days before the end of the month. So I basically told them it's one of those things that if you want me to stay caught up, you need to either hire someone or something. Nothing will be done. But I've told him, I was like, you know, I'm taking on more stuff and I'm falling behind, so just warning you. Oh, the raffle is ended. Let's resume for a second. Exclamation GAW will get you in. I'll give you a few seconds while I finish these couple coins. Okay. And Gatita got in. All right. 23 people. Close the entries, pick the 50 like, and it's JC likes Pam. JC, 50 likes. Congratulations. And we'll do this. All right, I show 3 people got it. It's a 2018. And I show Civ 5, Mike Schleiz, and Michael Rose. Copy the names, paste them on here. And we've got to do this. And as usual, when you send me your email, you can say either code or bank. Got a painted coin. I don't count those unless they're like a stickered coin, because anybody can just throw paint on coins. Whereas putting stickers on takes a little bit more effort. If it was a quarter, I'd say it was a house quarter, but yeah, I got it. Someone said, and me. Roll 21. whenever I see like a 22 or a 2000 or something, I always go like, oh, and then I go, oh, no, never mind. But there you go. I think there must be a bigger lag than usual tonight. Nice. It's interesting when I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I get an order and it comes from TikTok Shop. It's like, I mean, I'll take it. All I did was set up the account and put connect, and they just pull information from Shopify. Thank you, VMC. Get this one on the board first before I forget. It is a 2007. I think I saw at least a couple people. I show Gatita, Cali, Browns fan, and KJ in Ohio, and I think there was a couple others. So it may not be pulling everybody in. We'll see. Michael Rose, okay. Not sure why it's only pulling through. I think it's the one that I didn't like as well, but oh well. Michael Rose and Wolf. That's weird. Oh. That's because I forgot to change the year. So, yeah. That's why I didn't pull the right people over. I've gotten 2 in my... No, it's because I forgot to change the year from 2020, so it kept 2020. So anybody that guessed 2020, it was saying was correct, but they weren't. A 70S proof, nice. I average half of a W per box. Sometimes those FGs are a little hard to see, so you have to kind of move them around a bit. Roll 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're halfway. I did change the year. Out of the 5 boxes, I'll be lucky if I get 1 silver. Just found a 50D. Nice. Very nice. I have found one of those before. Thank you, BMC. Now, if I did it right this time, we had 3 people, which was Wolf, Crafty, and Mike S. 2018. Is that correct? We'll see if it did it right this time, because I remembered and I didn't screw it up, I hope. Civ? Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to pull everybody or not. I'm wondering if it's just pulling the last 3 or first 3 or something like that. Because the one was doing that, but the other one that I was using was pulling everybody, because it pulled like 4 people, 5 people. I think what I'll have to do is take every single thing, try it one by one and see if it works. Yeah, I'm wondering if it just takes the last 3 for some reason. you set it so that your name for the first start time to guess? Not sure what you mean by set it for my name to start. It shows your name. It shows the name on the thing. You see, it's this. I put in the winning year, start guess, and then it ends guess, and then it pulls over. Yeah, there's a couple ideas that it doesn't do it in the chat. It's just this program that I'm running. Because that pulls it from the chat. It's not putting anything in the chat like the GA and stuff. That one puts it into the chat. This one only takes it from. But I could probably do something where it's you know, exclamation G for guess and exclamation S for stop or something. I don't know. There was one that I was working on that if someone guessed, like on the year and drink, they guessed a year and then later a drink instead of together, it would combine them. It highlights it so that if there's only a year or only a drink, it highlights it. And if it doesn't know, it puts it in red like, well, I don't know what that is. Or if it's ambiguous, like say someone put A and W. Well, I don't have A and W on my list. So it would flag it for review, and then obviously I would say, oh, I'm assuming you mean Barks. So there's a few I was working on. I was trying to do it all in one thing. One GUI thing that sets up, but I think it kept interfering with the other things that it was doing. So I think what I need to do is have one for drink and year guess, one for start stop, one for, you know, each separate thing. But it's also very easy to break the code when you're like copying, pasting something. You put it one spot off and it doesn't run correctly. Like one of them I forgot, like left a quotation mark or something in there. And it was like, I'm like, it just worked. So I gave it, can't remember if it was Chad, GPT, or one of them, but I said, this was working, this one's not. And that's when they were like, oh, it's because you have this. And I'm like, oh. one little character and it screwed it all up. But again, I am not a coder. I'm more of a spreadsheet guy. I could do that. Awesome. Well, thanks for letting it stay open. Extra watch time never hurts. So I just need to find the last correct stuff that was working the way I liked and then go from there. Like I said, I think what I did was I accidentally overwrote one of them and thought I had a backup and I didn't. So like the latest one that it was trying to do for the drink year gas is like it won't even connect. So I found one from April and that's working the way it was back then before I did some changes. So I just got to go back, find the changes, that sort of thing. Dad's going to have to do a sleep stream, and he'll be at a lot of hours. Yeah, and it seems like one particular program will not do everything. It's like one of them does something better. So I've had it to where, like, I'll use ChatGPT, and then it starts trying to send me kind of like in a circle. So then I'll plug it into like Copilot, and it'll say, oh, I see what's going on. You need to fix this part. And then it's fixed. And what I think happens is if you're using just one straight that's not just for programming, because there are things like that, I think what it does is it starts taking code from one thing and mixing it up and kind of saying, oh, here's some code that I found, even though it's not the right stuff, because you uploaded to it. MySpace, oh man. So I use a combination. I think what is the best way, it seems, is I'll use one program to get it mostly there, use another program to kind of fix a few things, and I know that there's programs you can get that will be specifically just to write code, and the one that kept trying me to go to them and do the code, and it's like, but I'm not paying like $20 just to do a little thing that is working semi the way I want. Ten rolls. I remember DOS. you'd have to write programming to make a little turtle thing go in patterns on the screen, and it was a green screen. And the turtle would make a, go in certain things, and I had seen Commodores, but I never used Commodores. The one that we always used at home was an Atari computer, not the game system, but the actual computer. Most people don't even know that there was an Atari computer. All right, it pulled 3 people over, which was Civ, Mike, and Jim for 2018. Who else did it miss? Did it miss anybody else? Just Civ, Mike, and Jim, okay. Like the one program I was using, I can't remember which one it was, but I was telling it I wanted to do this, and it said, okay, I would suggest doing this also. And I'm like, no. And then I'd say, okay, let's do this. And then somehow it would do its own thing, even though I said, no, I don't want this. Yeah. I just kind of do it a little bit as I'm putting stuff on my website, and if I was able to just sit down and look at stuff, I'd probably be able to do it a lot better, but it's cheating off others. Hey, if it works, it works. What I have been able to do is use on my, a past live stream, because it has live in the name, and put it on live chat replay, and it will pull in the information from there, so I don't have to make like a fake stream or something like that, or put it on private or something like that. Oh, damn it. Well, there was 4 of you. I cleared it before I went to grab the names, and I cleared it instead. It's 2018. I know there was Crafty as one of them. As soon as I did it, I was like, no, wrong button. Got Civ, VMC, Jolly. was going to say it showed crafty too, so. Yep, crafty's in there too. Yeah, so it pulled over 4 people, so at least it's pulling in more than 3. That's what I was kind of afraid of, is it was only doing 3. It's 5 total. Okay, I'll have to find the 5th one. Because the ones I got were Civ 5, VMC, Jolly, and Crafty. See you, Jim. Thanks. You were awesome. You're on the wheel a couple times for your $10 tip, and Mike is okay. Gifted memberships. This one, let's see what it pulls over. Ooh, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. I have VMC, Michael Rose, Crafty Dragon, Jolly Roger, Mike Schley, Civ 5, and Gatita. Anybody else? Michael Rose, Crafty, Jolly, Mike S, Civ 5, and Gatita. So that pulled over, what, 7 names? 6 names? Yeah, sometimes I get a bunch of, like, 1 year. Sometimes it's a mixture. Like, the last box wasn't too bad. It had a couple 18s in it, but there was 07s and a 13 and... Four rolls. Halves go way faster than nickels do. Three rolls. I'm wondering if that's a light planchet. It's a 79. I've never had a light one in 79, but it sounds way different. Let's go like this. Yeah, I'm going away. I've got to move some of these coins out of the way. And it was calibrated. I do have a calibration set, so let's go to grams. We'll tare it. We'll test it with a regular one, 11.2. Test it one from the 70s, 11.27. And the one that is weird sounding, it's only 0.2 grams, so it's not light enough for it to be considered. It's just slightly light enough to sound weird. Weird. Because I can hear it when I put them into my hand like this. It has that different sound. That's why I find most of my light planchets is just by hearing it. Because it's not a hollow sound like a magic coin, but it's not a clink like a silver. It's just a, oh, muscle 3. There you go. I've got your extra 50 cents on the board. Silver $50 on stream last weekend. 4 or 5 straight streams without finding silver. Huh. Yeah, I don't find much silver. But yeah, I can hear the sound usually from last one. I think my NIFSI average is going to go down if I start getting more circulated boxes because there's so many 24s and 5s. I haven't. Pull up my average here and I'll be able to tell you what I'm averaging. See, my NIFSI average is down to a little under 16 now. My total silvers is 0.2 per box this year. For all the years, my NIFSIs are 18.4 average, and silvers are 0.8 per box. It isn't horrible, but, yeah, you know. Alright, let's do some scoping. Start with 77. Let me see something here real quick. So this is the 50D that he found. It's a little better. It almost looks like there was like part of a 9 there. But I don't know. Sorry, I had to send a quick little message back. Let's go with 74s this time. Yeah, I'm sure you'd be able to tell if it had been, but it was just weird because it was like, of course, if you see it in person, you have a microscope like this, and you get it underneath, you can see all kinds of, like if someone tries to whiz it, or, you know, like on a coin, you can put it underneath and you can see like all kinds of whiz marks and things. 73s. Yeah, I've done it before where I've used like my phone or something to quickly do it before having to get my scope out. But now that I do this, I always have it out, so I don't even have to hook it up to the monitor. I can just do it. Like when I turn it on, it'll ask me if it's like if I'm hooking up to PC or just regular or whatever. I haven't. Yeah. It's 10 seconds. Is that the delay? I'm showing it's about 4 seconds. Which is still longer than it used to be. I haven't looked over here for a while. I think that's where I actually found the last time. I don't scope every single one. Like if it's been damaged heavily, I don't even scope it. Three bar. Six. So altogether, .2020, an 07 Philly, an 07 Philly, 18 Denver, 18 Denver, an 07 Philly, an 08 Denver, a 20 Philly, a 13 Philly, an 18 Denver, an 18 Denver, an 18 Denver, 18 Denver, 18 Denver, 18 Denver, and an 07 Philly. So 407 Phillies, an 08 Denver, a nice 13P. Let's see if it's an upgrade on mine, or one of the sets. 18s and 20s. So 16. Alrighty. Well, we don't have to worry about the oldest year and everything, because we didn't have one. So we'll just do the end of the regular stream part. I did add a few things. I have one without the acrylic case. On these ones, I have one of each. So those are marked down because of that. These are ones I'm getting. It's a 5-ounce Yeti Summit. Dragon Slayer. It's one of those Liberia ones. They're all 5,000 mintage. Not individually numbered, which I don't get if you're going to limit number, but then not number them. The Memento Mori. Memento Vivere. I got to get a bit better picture than that. The Liberian Sugar Skull. This is a 10-ounce. It's a galaxy. It's kind of a raised up type thing. I have this one without an acrylic case. I have this one with broken. The Liberian ones are kind of popping up this year. Like there's this genie there. Got a couple aliens. I do have some Monument Valley coming. A few of those. I have one left of these. I know I've already have two that are claimed. That's the new one. It's that 5-ounce laser engraved one. And then that one. So that's the new one. That's a new one. I've got one available. These are sort of newer. Sort of newer. These 10-ounce ones are crazy. But there you go. And on here, I did add the yellow Don't Tread on Me, the 1-ounce colorized one. I think that's the only newer one that I've put on. And again, if you guys ever want to see one of those up close when I have them, that sort of thing, let me know. We had 10 gifted memberships and a $10 tip. Thank you, Jim Thompson. But yeah. Yep. No longer enter the raffle. Alright, this is for the end of stream, and then we'll put your name on the wheel and see what the wheel gets. David! Congratulations, David. And on here we've got 80 entries. You're welcome, David. Like I said, on these you just email me and tell me if you want a code or bank. Shuffle it up a few times when it gets to the top. Because sometimes in the chat I do not see it. Garrett. Congrats, Garrett. Spin again. Okay. Sieve 5. You get the wheel. KJ got 3 peppers. Yep, I gotta get you on there in just a second here. There we go. Congrats. Send me an email. We had Smoker, JC, likes Pam, David, and Civ 5. Tonight's drink was brought to you by Barks Zero. Yum. Let's see, Jason Pinkett. Okay. So I've got yours banked. Let's see. Excuse me. Go. You're welcome, Smoker. And I did get a few others. I haven't gone on the website yet. I did have this one on the website, wherever it is. This one. That one I do have on. But I also have that one. That one. That's one of the Zombucks. One of these. And another one of the fronts, but it's a different back. Nope, it's the same. 2 of those. Yeah, you're welcome, Vincent. I'm probably going to keep this one for me because it is an Aztec calendar. That's one of my favorite things. That one I'm probably going to keep for myself, but those I have, but I have not got them on the website yet. This one I have, but these ones I have not. Trying to think if there's anything else I'm getting in. I do have a BEP strap of $2 bills in 2017. Do have some of the gold and silver ones. Oh, I do have a few more of these coming, so I will get those. A few. I can't remember how many there were. I think there was maybe 8. I can't remember. But I do have more of those coming. And I showed you the new 5-ounce. And that sort of thing. Cool. Let me do this. There you go. There's your code. Now I'm going to get a bunch of this back in the bank. Oh, ow. Anyway, it's only 8:30. It was kind of a quicker one, but unless for some strange reason the bank gets a shipment in, Monday I will open two other boxes. But we had 51 likes, 10 new members, $10 tip, a few jewels, 16 nifsies. One of these times, someone with the X2 will land on the wheel. But I think we'll call it a night. Oh, excuse me. Especially since I'll have a very early day on Saturday. But there you go. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. And appreciate all of your guys's. I tried to order a box hunt also. Let me see if one came in. I do have a nickel hunt purchased. So it did come through. So yours will be first in line when I get them. Like I said, I'll have Thursday, hopefully. Might be a little bit late because I'll have to pick them up for my sister, and I don't know when she'll get in to town. But if it's not Thursday, then it will be next Monday after that. Yeah. So that one's kind of up in the air of, like I said, depends on when she comes in. Sometimes they leave early, so they get here earlier. Sometimes they leave like after some work or something like that, so they get here a little bit later. But I was going to have to owe her gas money, and then I remembered she has a car that doesn't take gas. She's just adding, 22 pounds a box? 286 pounds. That's like an extra person. That's all. Alrighty, there you guys go. I appreciate everybody. And hopefully see you again on Tuesday. Excuse me. Tuesday. So until then, stay cool.